All right, we are on this trip for Vegas. There's Bellagio. We are going to get something to eat at Rainforest Cafe. Woo! There you go.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Elevate Project. My name is Ryan and we're doing a review on the Insta360 Go Ultra. Now, if you saw the beginning of this segment, you would have saw some clips from cycling, my cycling adventures using the action pod, sorry, not the action pod, but the Insta360 Go Ultra with the camera portion, and the action pod was separated. Now, in the other clips, you would have saw me using the action pod as well as the camera attached together during my vacation or my trip to Las Vegas for the family event, as well as some other project that I was working on in Las Vegas. So I wanted to use this segment specifically for this intro because if you heard the clip where I'm kind of talking about, hey, we're going to be testing this camera out, that is the camera onboard mic. And I really wanted for you to hear the difference with an external mic because this is capable of using an external mic. Now, what I'm using is the Rode Wireless Pro connected to the camera through USB-C and using the wireless portion with the Rode little, handle, and put this here on top to help with any plosives or anything like that, a little windscreen as well, which is kind of nice. So talking about the Insta360 Go Ultra, I've been really happy with it. This is going to be a breakdown of what's included in the box, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, kind of showcase some of the different settings that I've been using. And to kind of break that down, there's a couple things that I like about the Insta360 Go Ultra, which is one, it's nice, it's small, it's compact. For an action cam, this is really where this shines. Now, of course, this is what it was particularly made for, and it gives you this beautiful wide field of view. So when you're cycling downhill or you're going into a scenery and you are seeing the environment, this really takes it in. The other thing that I like about this action cam is that it can be very discreet, it's very light, especially when you disconnect the camera from the action pod itself. Now, again, I'll show you that in a little bit. Don't worry, if you haven't seen the Insta360 Go Ultra, it is super small and it's literally in the whole package is similar to other action cams, specifically something like the GoPro. Now, the other thing that I like about this camera is that if you're not using it as an action cam, and one of the main reasons why I took this camera on my trip to Las Vegas is that it's super small and discreet, and you can really film places where maybe you feel uncomfortable to film in the past just because of people staring, etc. You don't necessarily want to bring a huge mirrorless camera or DSLR with huge lenses when you're vlogging or filming, and this might be a great choice for vlogging if that's something that you're into and if you're putting it onto YouTube. All right, so that segment was all filmed with the Insta360 Go Ultra. Reason why I got this camera specifically was for cycling. What comes in the box simply is the Insta360 Go Ultra, and it does have a nice flip up screen. And this is one of the main reasons why I was so excited to get this particular camera was this magnetic necklace. So this goes around your neck. And if you're a cyclist like myself, you know, you have your jersey. This will go underneath your jersey. And the camera what's nice about it, does separate from the action pod. So this is the piece, which is magnetic. I don't know if you can see that on the back. And while you have this underneath your shirt, you're good to go. So as you can see there, it is really discreet. I'm wearing all black, and I don't know if you can even see that. It's fairly discreet. Now, if you press the button that is there, it will give some LED lights, and then it will flash red so you know that you're recording. So when you're cycling, or if you're vlogging, if you're using this for vlogging and you want that point of view and still be able to use your hands, versus vlogging with the camera and having this in front of you, this kind of gives you a better point of view. Now, this is a safety leash. So if you do drop this, this will connect to your camera. And this connects to the leash, so you can have that around your hand, or depending on where you have this camera, you can easily grab it, or if it drops, or hopefully prevent it from dropping, you're good to go. And then this piece here, which I didn't really use much with this in my testing, is this magnetic clip. Okay, and what it is you can put it onto a hat, and you put your camera here, and then you can put it in different orientations. So again, this is the magnetic clip. The camera is recording, and you can plug it in, and you're good to go. Now, there is a button here, which is controls physical button there, and I turned it off, and you click it again, and it will record. There is also a mic. I don't know if that will show up properly there, but right there is a mic on board. And there is an LED light here on the top as well. So the action pod in the case here, when you turn it on, you can, on the screen, which is nice, it's touch screen. You can change from video mode to photo mode, which is nice. And you can film in 4K, 30 frames per second, 25 frames per second, 24 frames per second, 50 frames per second, and 60 frames per second. Like I said earlier, this is an incredible camera in such a small, compact size to be able to film in 4K 60, which is absolutely great. Now here in 4K 60 though, you won't be able to activate HDR, and it will let you know in the settings that it's capable or not capable in that particular frame rate. Now, what I've been filming most of the videos on the Insta360 Go Ultra is 4K 30. I'm only thinking about 4K 60 if I'm looking to slow down footage. And here, stabilization, you have low, standard, high. And pretty much in every case that I've used this, specifically in cycling, as well as my trip to Las Vegas, has been on standard and haven't had any issues. And then of course, it will give you the ratio of filming either in 16:9 or gives you the option of 4:3 and 2.35:1. Now, actually 100% of the filming I've been doing has been in 16:9, but the orientation is either when I'm filming horizontal or vertical. And as you change the orientation, it automatically changes the view on the screen, which is kind of nice. It even has a level on there. Probably won't see it as well, but it's nice when you're filming so you can ensure that things are level when you're filming. The field of view is absolutely incredible. I think this is one of the few cameras outside of the Insta360 X5 where this gives me the widest field of view. I've had GoPros, I had the GoPro 4, I had the GoPro, I still have the GoPro 7 Black, and the field of view on this Insta360 Go Ultra is, I think, it is the widest that I've used. And you can change the field of view. There is action view, which also lets you, when you choose and select a field of view, kind of gives you an explanation of what that field of view is best used for. If you have it on the widest field of view, you're going to get this warping on the edges. So depending on, again, what you're filming, it will give you kind of a good explanation of when to use that particular mode. Then there's mega. So during the vlogging segment, or when I was in Las Vegas, a lot of my filming was in mega. For cycling, I used the widest field of view, which in this case is action. You have ultra, you also have D-warp and linear. Linear was the field of view that I was using when I was filming earlier from the Insta360 Go Ultra during the intro. What I usually used the most was either linear, mega, or the action field of view, so I can get the widest field of view possible. Is when you first get the Insta360 Go Ultra, this you decide is the camera for you, is actually going into settings and go into video bitrate and change that to high. I think that's the one specific thing that I would use to change automatically. And that can kind of change the quality from grainy, okay, to the best that this camera is capable of. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to show filming from the Insta360 Go Ultra in the beginning of this video, as well as the video clips, is so you can compare it to this talking head or A-roll, which I'm using is the FX30 with the 16mm lens. And you're going to notice it's not getting that wide field of view like we were getting with the Insta360 Go Ultra. It was getting a lot of my studio. It was picking up the mic that was below me. It showed pretty much everything, more so on the right side, more so field of view on the left side, and see a lot of things on my desk. So it's pretty incredible, the wide field of view. Now, photos. This does photos as well. And again, caveat here, the photos look great. Again, I'll show some samples right now. Is again the field of view. This naturally has a wide field of view. Now with photo editing and also video editing, you can really punch that in with software, which is a-okay. And versus something like the lenses I'm using here with the FX30. Now the question is, do you want to bring the FX30 with you everywhere? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. Really kind of talk about the things I do like about this and review it. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, is just how small the camera is, the camera portion. And you really don't need the action pod to film on the go. So if you are a vlogger and you want to be discreet, you can just bring the camera. And the reason why I say that is because the external micro SD card is in the body of the camera and not the action pod. And then if you're thinking about, oh my goodness, what is my framing like? Because the field of view is so wide, as long if you're vlogging and you have this in front of you, it's gonna get everything that you need from a vlogging perspective. And also if you're pointing this at something, it is gonna have a wide field of view that it will, in editing, if you wanted to really zoom in, again, it's 4K, which is nice, that you have some room to punch in. So if you were worried about, hey, do I need to bring the action pod with me? You actually don't. You can just take the camera. So, and not having to bring the action pod as a choice is pretty great. In a lot of the footage that you saw, specifically the cycling footage, I just brought the camera with me. All good. I mean, in some instances, you may not want to have the time to take a look at your framing and then press record, etc. And then with the camera itself, what I've noticed is if I have this button here in the bottom, is when I feel that button, I'm in horizontal. If I change the orientation and it's on the left side, then I know I'm filming in vertical. What I do like about the action pod itself, I do love the touchscreen. The touchscreen is makes it really easy and intuitive to go through and pick what you want to choose, review footage, as well as changing your settings. The one thing is as well is this grip. So there's a grip here on the side, and it works really well when the screen is open. I feel like if I'm vlogging and I'm good to go, it is really nice to have full grip or have that confidence that you are holding onto the camera and it won't slip and fall. One thing is, if you have the screen closed, it is a little bit weird holding that because you don't want to touch the touch screen just in case it changes a setting or whatnot. Oh, sorry. One more thing that I like about this is the USB-C port. Now, I plugged in a external mic through the USB-C and it worked flawlessly. The one thing that is a caveat when you're using an external mic is that the camera does need to be connected to the action pod in my experience. Unless there's going to be a new update, I couldn't use just the camera by itself and record with an external mic. It did end up going to the onboard mic of the actual camera. I haven't used any other USB accessories, thinking of what I could connect to this. Now, like I said earlier, I use the Rode Wireless Pro as an external mic. The reason why that's important is because Insta360 does sell its own wireless mic. And if you already have, let's say, a DJI mic or a Rode mic that is wireless, that the receiver transmitter can connect through USB-C, then I think you're okay to use those unless there is a fit issue or something like that that you're worried about. Now, the things that I don't like. One is for my usage for cycling, I've had no issues with battery life. The battery has lasted great. Now, again, I was using more so just the camera in my cycling adventures and never had to recharge it. I did find after a 2-3 hour ride, when I came home, realized that it was in low battery. So again, it could be those things because sometimes when I'm recording, when I'm cycling, sometimes I forget to stop the recording. So I have footage of 20-30 minutes versus, hey, I'm going on a descent or there's this really cool scenery that I want to press record. And realized there was one time where I didn't look down to see what the LED lights were, and I hit the button and it stopped recording and didn't actually record what I wanted to record. So a little that's more user error, not necessarily the device. When I was filming in Las Vegas, the one thing that I did test out is its low light capabilities. So the Insta360 Go Ultra has a feature or an option to record in what they call as pure video, which is supposed to help enhance low light situations. And what I do like is that there was a new update that was updated before I went to Las Vegas, and which is before this update, you would have to switch your option or that feature to go to pure video if you knew you were filming in a low light situation. Now in Vegas, I had it just in video mode. And as I went from outside to inside into a casino or another hotel, I was in a low light situation. So before this update, I would have to stop my recording, switch my option, and then record again, or just let it record and just have horrible low light footage. This new update, which I liked, is that when I go from good light to low light, it automatically switches to pure video. The negative that I have with this camera is that yes, it worked, but it's still not that great. I found that out of the box, I can record that and get decent footage. However, if I really want good low light footage, I probably want to go to another camera. The other thing that I found with the Insta360 Go Ultra on my trip to Las Vegas, it gained a little bit of friction for me to use versus my iPhone, as on the spot, I see something happening and I want to take a picture or want to start a video. I think it's easier and less friction to use the Insta360 Go Ultra versus, let's say, something like my Sony FX30 or my Sony a7 IV. So I guess that's all in context. The video editing. Everything that you saw in the footage earlier in the intro and the clips from Vegas and cycling was all done through the Insta360 app on my iPhone. And I found that the Insta360 app is very intuitive and easy to use. I was able to change the color, some speed. Also, for cycling, it connects with things like Garmin. So my Garmin got a lot of that data I was able to put as an overlay through the Insta360 app. And I think in the past, I would have to get that data, then I'd have to sync it in video and put it in the video editing. The Insta360 app is actually very intuitive and makes it really easy to do those type of things. Who I think this is best for, and this is not something that I'd say deter you away from any other option, is what it was originally advertised for, which is as an action cam. I really enjoyed this. I really felt that it really shines. I've had this since launch day. So I've had this for a couple months already. And what I love, and literally will not go on a cycle ride without, is this Insta360 Go Ultra. Even if I brought my Insta360 X5 with me, I'll still bring the Go Ultra, because I find that I get better angles and better views and easier to take this camera and even show a selfie shot versus using my iPhone. Now for vlogging, it's something that you can use for sure. It just wouldn't be my number one choice in that scenario. If I was going to vlog, I'd probably get a different camera. Again, my opinion. Can you do it? Absolutely. Is there some opportunity where it's just easy to use? 100%. I think with the Insta360 Go Ultra, and I think with any camera, is the best camera is the one that is with you when you want to use the camera for photos or videos. And if this was in my bag, I would definitely use it. Now, if I was on vacation again, which I will, would I use if I had the choice to use my iPhone or the Insta360 Go Ultra, believe it or not, I'd probably use my iPhone. It's just easy. It's in my pocket. I'm not afraid of losing. That's one thing on my vacation. I was afraid of losing my Insta360 Go Ultra. Not one of the positives is that it's nice and small. One of the negatives is because it's nice and small. So you could put this in your pocket. I did want to protect the lens, so I actually had a little case, and I also put it in my traveling pouch, and I put it in there. I did have a fear though of dropping it or losing it for whatever reason while I was in Vegas. For me, and this is totally up to you, for your final decision if you want to purchase the Insta360 Go Ultra, is for me 100% for sports, specifically cycling and running in overall, in terms of the quality of footage that you get from a camera that small. I love the the adaptability and flexibility of separating the camera from the action pod and using the accessories for like the necklace magnet and even this small little clip. I think this is something if I was vlogging, I put in my car somewhere, make it really easy. I guess some negatives right now in the time of this recording is the lack of universal accessories. So what I mean by that is with the Insta360 Go Ultra, it uses this proprietary mounting system on the bottom versus the Insta360 X5 or any camera really out there other than, let's say, an iPhone. You have like a 1/4-inch screw that will, again, I have an Insta360 invisible selfie stick that I use with my Insta360 X5. I can't use with the Insta360 Go Ultra. So that was kind of frustrating, to be honest. And because of the lack of universal accessories to use this with, a lot of it was proprietary. I didn't have a lot of accessories to test out with this particular camera. But other than that, for what it is, absolutely enjoy it and will continue to use it in the future. So if you have any questions, comments, put it into the bottom of this video. And hopefully you found value in this video. And if you have, you know what to do. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.